To ensure stability in its agriculture sector, China is not leaving things to Mother Nature. The Chinese government is planning to employ upgraded weather control systems in Heilongjiang, Jilin, and Liaoning, the three provinces responsible for 54% of the nation's rice production. The project, which will continue until June, involves creating artificial rain using cloud seeding, special aircraft, rockets, and much more. China has been tinkering with the idea for years. But how controllable can the weather be? Skeptics fear the consequences of meddling with nature at this level could be dire.
Mr. Fletcher, another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir. And
All right, guys, welcome in, welcome back. The first 16-day forecast of February. We made it to February somehow. Yeah, we had a big old earthquake. We're going to have to jump right in. We'll ship into the main screen. So, I was trying to get going here, and then the broadcaster froze up, then the computer froze up, and then the internet went down. I'm like, what in the heck's going on? Right when this earthquake went off. So I had to reboot the computer, and then finally the router rebooted. I'm like, what in the world is going on? But we got it. We're up and running. But yeah, we've had a 7.8 in Turkey right off the East Anatolian fault line. And then a bunch of aftershocks. You can see right here. So 7.8, a 6.7, 5.6, 4.7, 4.6 on the other side, 5.3s to the left. That one's definitely going to cause some damage. There's probably cities that have been leveled with that. So anyway, we'll... if anything more pops off, we'll come check this out a little deeper. Getting a late start, man. I could not get this thing going. Let's just take a quick look at the watches and warnings. We got winter storm warnings and watches over on the West Coast, California, Washington, Oregon, a little bit there in Montana, Nevada, some in Colorado, and then we got the flooding issues down in the South. And when you look at the... if you go over here to the Earth, this thing is even freaked out. Check out this rain bomb that pops up. Let me get it where I need it here. I had all this up. I just rebooted, so probably not one of my tabs is going to be right or even loaded. But look how this moisture blows up. You're looking at a 3-hour precipitation. Let me go back one time. So when it was over Florida, it was like nothing, but there's this huge trough coming down that blasts into this thing today. And then look at that amount of moisture right there. This blows up. It's like a little mega rain bomb out there, almost spinning into a cyclone. Going to be pretty close. Definitely going to hit, a lot of it's going to hit Bermuda there. We'll get into that later too. We also had a 5.0 earthquake shake south central Alaska. That was actually a couple days ago. How'd I get that one on here? We had the 50-car train derailment causes a big fire, evacuations in Ohio. Some of these are like a day behind. So they had an evacuation order declaration of the state emergency in Ohio village near Pennsylvania state line. Billows of yellow, of smoke, orange. So 50 cars derailed, man. All these derailments and all these things that are going on, man. It's like, it seems like they all happen around the same time every year. We'll get a rash of these things pop up. We'll get more news on that later. We had some pink waves crash into San Diego. It's for the study on how freshwater and surf zones interact. So there's dumping stuff out in the ocean to see what it looks like. All in the name of science. Hard to believe some of the science coming out nowadays. So they're going to be dyeing the ocean 3 times, January 20th. Planned in late January and early February. So it looks like they've done it before. It looks like they're turning the ocean's blood red. Just like the Bible says. And they're doing it on purpose. Deadly ice storm snarls travel across the southeastern U.S. That was a couple days ago. Some of these are old. Like I said, I just had to reload. I didn't get to go through any of this stuff. We had the Arctic blast. There's some like minus 60s, minus 90s. We showed in the show last night how that all happened. Yeah, some of these are, that one even says February 6th. We're not in there yet. Coming out of Texas, ice storm forces airlines to cancel over 1,800 flights. Chicago, Illinois, after an ice storm ravaged the states Texas to West Virginia, canceled over 1,800 flights. 750 delayed. You know, with the technology and the advancements we have, we should be able to fly in the wind, the snow, it's just people getting out of work. Northeast is getting hit. And it's really not the polar vortex. We can prove it's not the polar vortex cold. We just come over here. We've been tracking this. I put this on the winds way up in the troposphere, stratosphere, and then we'll put it on the temperatures and we'll be able to see where the cold air is. It's all parked way over here over Norway and Greenland and these North Islands, and there's still a small heating event going on over here by Russia. If you just go back a couple days here, you'll see the heating event that we talked about last night, which I'm going to have to delete that show. But yeah, it's going to take too long to go through all that and show that. Plus, let me go ahead and get out of that for a minute. 100 degrees below zero. That's what it felt like in Washington. You notice all the mainstream media, they always give you the feels like temperature. And we know what not ice nucleation does. It makes it feel colder. And that's why they use them temperatures. They want you to make it colder than what it really is, like it's a mind thing. Yeah, we talked about the egg factories a bunch of times. Down in Chile, they extend their emergency orders. Firefighters battle deadly wildfires. You know, these are going to start cropping up everywhere, just like every year. You know, down in Australia, they'll be burning out the properties coming up. Then it'll start on the West Coast, even though we got all the rain and the snow and all that stuff. Got to wait for some of these to load here. Fires are burning hotter and faster. Firefighters say that it means residents only have minutes to escape. And we know why. We know that all the particulates that's coming down are making the storms more intensified, more electrified. It's putting stuff on the ground. It's making it ignite much faster and hotter. Plus, there's other technologies in the works. We know the real stories. We had a mini cyclone smash into some buildings in New South Wales. Look at the roofs, man. They weren't very deep. Looks like they planted it on the parking lot. Looks like they did. Surely there's more damage than that. Yep, definitely accelerants. Footage of State Highway 25A in Carmondo shows part of the road being completely disseminated by extreme weather over the weekend. Look at that. The road's gone. Of course, we're going to have all that stuff going on over on the West Coast. Landslides, mudslides, avalanches, all that. They got more storms coming in. Down in Australia, summer pause, cold weather forecast for southeast Australia to bring snow across the Alps. We're seeing this in different countries where it's supposed to be summer down in the southern hemisphere, but yet they're getting hit with record cold temperatures. We have a cloud blanket that's affecting the atmosphere. Yeah, I think they're even throwing the kitchen sink at us. More article on the Australian Alps turning into a winter wonderland in the middle of summer. It's summertime down there. Coldest wind chill ever seen in the U.S. recorded on Mount Washington. Temperature minus 42 degrees, wind chilled minus 101 with a wind gust 127 miles an hour. That happened on 3/15 on Friday. Tell me that's natural. We got kiwi fruit harvest under threat after Bay of Plenty Foods event. It's all underwater. See, they're destroying all these farm manufacturing and all kinds of things. And we know what they're getting ready to push. They're going to be pushing this different kinds of food. Food made in labs and stuff like that. Bugs. Sonar technology could be used to tackle seagulls. I guess they don't like the seagulls anymore. Members of the Local Authority Infrastructure Service Committee were given an update on its Urban Goal Action Plan, 5-year plan to reduce the seagull numbers across the region by taking action such as removing nests, eggs, deterrent bins. You know, when they try to get rid of animals. They don't want bugs. They just do it. There's never no votes or nothing. What do you think they do to us? It's the same thing. Looking at the tropical cyclone page, we got 3 Invest lined up perfectly in a row. We got Invest 94S, 97S, and 99P. I mean, these things are almost exactly on the same line. So that's pretty nuts. We'll look at it after they turn into something a little bigger here. Anybody watching the skies? There was all kinds of sky grids going on last night, man. California got waxed. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. I mean, all the way up through the Ohio Valley. Let me get up to today. And if you didn't see last night's show, go watch it because I'm going to delete it probably after this show. We talked about some bad stuff on there coming out of the skies. All right, we're going to, before we get in 16-day forecast, we got another hurricane hunter plane out here on an unassigned mission. Remember, it just flew across the United States right before all this stuff happened. Where's this thing at? Let me see where it's en route right now on an unknown mission. Let's just go see where this is real quick, if we can, if it'll let me. Problem, reaction, solution. That's all we're seeing, man. We're just the bystanders in the world theater. Oh, this is showing it over land, but the plane's not over land. Let me zoom out. Wow, now they're saying it's back in California. I don't know if I believe that. That can't be right. Or maybe it is. Yeah, they're flying over California. So they flew all the way from California all the way down to like Florida, and then they flew back. Because yesterday, they flew all the way from California all the way down to like Florida or Louisiana. I can't remember where it was. It almost looked like the flight path of the balloon thing. All right, let's go ahead and jump into 16-day forecast. I got to keep this baby short, man. I'm got a mega day tomorrow, and I'm already hurting. So, all right. So we're looking at the target zones over the next 2 weeks of all the moisture. This is all the precipitation, and the crazy thing, it's the exact same as the last month. The same target zones. You got a British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and then right over the New Madrid fault line zone. Coming up through Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi. Same ones, man. Until that bunker fuel operation kicks in. Remember, it went on for 2 weeks. It stopped. It's been stopped for about 3 days, so here within a week or two, then we're going to see the next big pattern change. So by the next 16-day forecast, we're going to see this whole thing change and then be into a kind of a similar model for quite a few weeks. While we're here, let's go ahead and check the total snowfall amount and just see what kind of snow may be coming. Get my water out here. So all that moisture going to the south, at least it's not going to be in snow. It's showing some 3-inch snows over Texas, but don't believe this. It won't be anything like that. These snow forecasts are more accurate up to the north. They suck down to the south. So we are seeing some 19 inches, 80 inches over there, Washington, Oregon, 146 inches up in British Columbia, and way up to the far north, some 16s and 18s. We'll have to see. These snow forecast things aren't super duper accurate at all, but they do give us an idea, especially mixed with the rain models. All right, we're going to go up 6 hours at a time. Look at that. It does look like a hurricane down there. That's what I'm saying. In fact, let me look at the convective energy real quick. So, where did it come from? Let me back up. Am I on the right day? It don't even look right. Okay, let me back up a day. See, look, there was some energy down there. It's that trough that come through. There's the energy popping in. So that's crazy, man. I think really put off some moisture with not even hardly a lot of energy. I know there was some heat down there, but all right, let me go ahead and get back into this. All right, here we go. 6 hours up. Heading off to the east. Got a little light snow, a little lull action in the rain for at least part of Monday here for most of everybody. Just some light flurries up over the west, and then the big rain bombs out there brewing out in the Atlantic. Look at that thing tighten up, man. That's like a high latitude cyclone right there. Pressure of 988. That thing's turning into a monster. You got this little bitty dip of cold air back behind it. See if we can get up into Tuesday. So another mostly clear day. We got the big warm up right here through the midsection. Some pretty good winds coming down. We'll see if we get that one on. Look at things turning south with a 970. I think that thing may turn into a hurricane. You got a little cold air dipping down here going into Tuesday all the way down into New Mexico. But it looks like it's pretty short-lived. And then by Wednesday, here comes our rain bombs that'll be coming in. Rain and snow bombs. Washington, Oregon, up in British Columbia, you're going to get hit. And then here's the beginnings of all the flood zones coming up through the Gulf of Mexico, plus all the aerosols that were deployed over in the Pacific are now hitting. So by midday later today, here comes the heavy storms popping off for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Can never rule out tornadoes, hail. And it seems like Arkansas has really been a pretty big target here lately. I'll be down in Arkansas tomorrow. I got a couple jobs down there tomorrow. Rain's picking up a little bit for Idaho. Still not super duper heavy. Same with the Washington, Oregon. This will be the main storm. And look at that. Then it gets to the New Madrid zone. Just not moving. We're still on Wednesday. It's moving, but not moving like super fast. There's nothing really over here to kick it up. So that's going to be leaving some pretty good rain. Yeah, so we're talking, a lot of hours of rain here. We're still on. Now we finally get into Thursday, and it's still raining right over the New Madrid zone, over Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, and going right up through Indiana, Ohio. It's going to go hit up there, starting to tighten up. So you're going to get several waves here coming in Thursday. And this one here is going to push pretty straight up. Right over into Michigan, Wisconsin. And they're going to get some snow out of this. We got some ice headed up there towards Maine. Lighter rain for the south. Going into Friday. And then here comes that snow event they're talking about. Looks like more for the St. Louis area, and the cold air is going to dip back down into Texas on next Friday. So this will be a little bit. It's probably not going to be as much rain as they're showing. 2 to 3, 2 to 4. Probably going to be more like a dusting to 1 to 2, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what kind of particulates are sticking to it in the sky. It's really dropped the cold front down all the way down to Louisiana. It's not a real wide one, but it is. There, rain for the east, southeast here on Saturday, February 11th. It's going to ride right up the coast. Showing little blasts of snow, not a whole lot. Now into next Sunday, so here's next Sunday, a week from today. And we get looks like we get another scheduled clear day next Sunday. Look at that. We get 1 to 2 clear days a month usually, and it looks like we might get a possibility of 4 semi-clear days scheduled for Sunday and parts of Monday. So it's showing the exact same theme as this week. And then guess what? The storms fire off in the exact same spot again. The British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, and then right up through Texas through Missouri. See, it's just like a clock, man. They got this thing all figured out on where they want to direct it. And the storms fire up same places. Heavy thunderstorms, can't rule out tornadoes. It's Monday the 14th. Look at that. And they just cycle back through. Even going into Tuesday, an even more powerful storm fires off over Texas. So the first storm's not going to stabilize the atmosphere like storms used to do. No, it's going to conjure up something even bigger back behind it the next day. So this is Tuesday, February 14th. And then again, another rain bomb right over the same areas. These look very intense. Right over the New Madrid zone. And shooting straight up pretty much. The east is going to get a little bit more on this one. And then we got a little bit of a blizzard type scenario coming in around Thursday, February 16th. It's not really a spinning pressure, but we got mega winds with this snow. Even if it's light, it's still going to be blowing sideways. Dropping pressure now is starting to spin up as it goes across the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Be a little bit of a snowmaker. And then we got another cold front dipping down back behind that all the way down into the Bajas. So we got a pretty good cold front. I don't know how cold it's going to be till we go look at the temperature models. Then by Friday, February 17th, we got the big storm hitting British Columbia. We got the mega winds starting to come back down. Look at this. We're even showing ice and sleet for Texas around the 17th. And another storm that reaches all the way from Mexico all the way up to the coast of Canada. A big old line showing another ice sleet event over Texas for Saturday, February 18th. So it kind of mixed in with this big cold front. So we got at least 2 big cold fronts coming so far. This one's sticking around a little while. Going into the 19th. Wow, look at the winds coming down across Canada there. Here, I got to get a drink. You know, last year was the windiest year that I've ever reported on. Like, it was the windiest year ever of all times since I've been keeping track for over a decade now. Usually the heat, when they're compressing the atmosphere, it's pulling the ionosphere and the atmosphere, and that down pressure creates heat, which creates wind. That's another reason how we know some of these events are being heated. So we got, this is a mega insane winds up here on February 19th, Sunday, 2 weeks from now. That's the widest of the wind fields I've seen coming down through there. Light rain right in the same spots again. Look at the winds coming down through British Columbia. Holy moly. Them could be some 100-mile-an-hours. And of course, this storm is a little lighter, so maybe the bunker fuel will be starting to kick in here for that pattern change. It is showing a pretty good sleet and ice system for North Carolina around the 20th. We'll have to see, but the cold front's finally kicking out. So we got just a couple more cold fronts, at least for the next 2 weeks. Two that are pretty good. One kind of a little bit longer lived. Yeah, this mega wind with that stuff right there. Pretty good rain. Big rain bomb's going to hit around the 21st, Tuesday, for the whole Ohio Valley, up through Indiana, all them places. Back that up a little bit. So yeah, we got, it's kind of associated with that one storm there. So you got a good rain bomb coming across Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, all them places up there. And still the big winds. The big winds are actually going to jet on down. Let's take just a quick look at the temperature models. Just see just how bad them cold fronts might be. So here on around the 18th, you got some pretty good cold up there for Michigan. Canada, you're freezing. You're minus 30s. So it's not the polar plunge cold, but it's definitely some cold. And we're pretty mild. There's maybe the other little cold front. So we got just normal winter weather cold fronts. So we're not seeing anything out of the normal. I mean, there's a pretty cold day right there on the 17th. You got minus 17 in North Dakota. Showing minus 18 down there in Colorado. Minus 9 for parts of Montana, Wyoming. You got a few. So anyway, we got nothing really super duper cold to worry about. Let's check some other regions. Yeah, you don't even want to breathe the rain anymore. Don't drink it. Don't make snow out of any of that stuff. All right, let's go on over here to Europe. Now, I do want to look at Europe here. People have been asking me here. Let's just see what kind of I'm just going to kind of play this through. See what kind of weather's coming in. So you got some bands of snow, a little bit of rain there for the north. The target zone's over there by Norway. So we're just coming up. So you got a couple of little waves. That's pretty good rain. Pretty good rain around the 16th. Then your bigger storm is going to hit it right around the 17th, right around the same time our cold front's going to be hitting. You're just going to get waves and waves of moisture. And then let's go ahead and just crank it up and look at it. Yeah, so North UK is going to get hit pretty good. The islands, Norway, Greenland's going to, or Iceland's going to be the one that's going to get the most. Looking at New Zealand down here, we got the North Island's going to get slammed. South Island Mountain's going to get hit pretty good. Let's get squared up a little bit here on Australia. So the north part's getting some, looks like it's going to get a little moisture. Tasmania just a little bit to the south, so summertime here. So all the flooding's going to be to the north. Go check East Asia. Oh man, my legs are really swole up right now. My son and a friend and his wife come out and help me. They took most of the crap out of my garage. It was a disaster zone. It took 5 people all day, and we still didn't get it done, but we got it a lot better organized. So man, my legs are messed up. So it looks like China, Japan's got some moisture coming in. We got some kind of it looks like a Little cyclone going on there by the Koreas. All right, what else did I wanted to check? I said I got to keep this short, man. I'm hurting for certain right now. Let's look at the world view just real quick. All the bunker fuel operations have just ceased. None. Stop them on a dime. It almost looks like a dust storm coming out of Kansas here. Let's put it on the, let's see if we can see any of these cirrus clouds. Yeah, go watch my show from yesterday, man. I show you all kinds of RNA stuff. We take the watches and warnings off so it's not in the way. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, my legs, I go back to they do some kind of ultrasound on my legs Tuesday, I think. All right, now we can see some of the aerosol programs. To me, every bit of them clouds look artificial. Like, I don't even know that I'm seeing except for way down here off the coast of Florida. And there's still a big spraying operation down there off the Bajas. I mean, look at the spraying operation down here over Florida. I could zoom in on that. Let me see if I can zoom in one. Yeah, let's zoom in on that one just because it's so... It should stand out really good. And we'll check it out over Florida too. Did it let me do it? Kind of a delayed reaction there. It's going to take it a minute to load. Like that reboot really got me here. Look, they're doing segmented spraying. So they're turning off and on. These are turning off and on. They're not just solid plain lines. They're turning on at an exact point. Even though these were turned on here, you can see 3 planes fired up, 3 or 4 planes all fired up at the exact same spot. Right there, man. It's like the Mason-Dixon line right there. Look at that. It's keep hitting the same areas over and over. Let's go check Florida because they had a big... I might need to be a little bigger just because it was so much. Try that. You know, I play that clip all the time where they said 43 years ago that they were going to be using jet aircraft on purpose to change the weather. Yeah, I need to go up farther north. Let's try right there. I'd probably miss it here. I probably am. I want to be able to see it, but yeah, now it's more to the east. You can see them high flyers are going back and forth over that system right now. So this is just out off the coast. This should show us how the airplanes are working here. Look, I mean, it's just completely whited out over the Carolinas. All these lines, these are not white puffy clouds, they're not cumulus clouds. These are all airplane clouds, which they call them cirrus clouds. And all you have to do is look at what's coming out of the emissions. Have your snow sample, your rain sampled, and you'll see a little microwaves going in that cloud down there. Anyway, guys, I got to keep this pretty short. Now, if you were with us last night, I filmed the moon with just I shoved a regular camera into my telescope. And I took, here's some of the pictures we got from last night. I finally got them stacked. So there's one of the pictures. I couldn't fit the whole moon in one frame, so I just had to take as much of it I could. Just took different parts. I don't know how to make a mosaic out of it or anything. Some of the colors didn't align real good. But yeah, they come out pretty good for just a camera. Starting to get the mineral colors. Some of these videos were like 5 minutes long, so I was able to pick up a lot of the color in there. Anyway, guys, armor on, much love, eyes of the sky. I'm trying to get where I can get back on a regular schedule. They may be shorter broadcasts, but hopefully I can. And we'll get this going. We'll keep exposing. Anyway, guys, armor on, much love. We will catch you hopefully tomorrow night if things go good. I'll try to keep updates on my doctor crap. Anyway, much love. Eyes to the sky. Let's just do the regular, we'll do the regular outro.